everybody? Hope you are all doing well. I'm back with the main two gents here. I got Sean from Comics and Crypto, and I've got DannyBR. Man, it's been an exciting, few weeks. Lots of different projects on the go as well. So we want to kind of, obviously talk about VeVe, but also talk about some of the other stuff in the space. So yeah, man, thanks for showing up, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, buddy, doing great.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having us on.
Good, man. How's those cowls, bro? Look at the.
That's so sick.
I can't pull one up as quick as you, but mate, it's awesome. It's good. I think it's like we bought in last minute as well, so it's like it was. I literally woke up and I saw it was 5 minutes to go, and I was like, I hadn't even given it any thought before then. And I thought, wow, with the amount of money we put into everything else, it's probably. And you look at the utility as well, so it's got to be worth a punt, right?
Oh yeah. I definitely
the
think
energy behind this
project,
yeah. The energy behind this project has been incredible. It's been incredible. Yeah, big shout out to Matt Mason, man, for coming on our podcast, and also with Entity Pirates. That was awesome. Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun talking to him and coming back and listening to your video, man, and hearing all the cool things he was talking about, especially the planned utility that's coming down the road. Like, what? That it's so exciting. It's so exciting. There's so much potential here, guys.
I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun project.
And bro, it feels like there was so much misconception because they were like talking about it being like a 200K mint run and it was $300, and everybody was just like, well, there's no ROI or ROI. They didn't think about like the utility, the roadmap, all the different things that are going to come to it. And then it turns out, I think there's only like 11,600 minted, and like 1,100 of it went to the team. So literally 10,500 to the public and just over 6,000 unique holders. So it's pretty small. And Todd was 7,500. So if we look at the market cap at Todd, and then you think about the size of VeVe, if we even get 0.5% of VeVe's market share, we're onto something.
I mean, even aside from that, I mean, this is truly an avatar project. So you can look at it like CryptoPunks or specifically Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is a 10,000 generated avatar project with a lot of backed utility, but not DC backed utility, which is like.
That's what threw me off eventually. Initially, because I was like, a lot of people, you look back at videos even like 10 days ago, and everyone was like, yeah, it's 200K, it's dead. Like, I'm not even touching that because they're never going to sell out. And then obviously after watching you guys do those interviews, and it's like, okay, well, they're actually going to burn, or not even burn. They're not even going to mint the ones that weren't used. So it's super exciting. Like, even after that, I was like, okay, well, there's only 10K. That's generally what a PFP sells out at. So it was just a massive, like, okay, well, if they're going to deliver, like DC have got the capital to deliver what they've said, I'm not really worried about it. So it's worth the risk, in my opinion,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet, man. Like, honestly, like, I think you said it perfectly. Like, I was like, what's the downside going to be? Okay, I lose $80. Worst case, I meant it for 300, I lose 80, but the upside could be at least a 10x. So it's like, it was a no-brainer at the end of the day. And I'm not sure how you guys felt, but that reveal was probably one of the coolest things ever.
So sick. So sick. Yeah. Yeah. They did a wonderful job with that. It was really, really fun. Yeah. My parents each got one too. So when we went over to the place and we opened it together. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're pumped about it. Yeah, they're really excited. Really excited. It was fun to see, like, at first I know this project kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth because of the whole Todd McFarlane situation. But then, Matt and Josh coming out and just nipping that in the bud and saying, no, guys, like, this isn't about that. We're not trying to take away from that. This is completely different. And now once it started to click with everybody, and actually hearing Matt talk about the project, and it's like, okay, I feel his passion, I feel his excitement, I feel the structure is so spot on. They have a solid foundation here with an incredible leadership team. And man, I'm like, I'm getting giddy just talking about it.
Yeah.
And with the after watching you guys' videos and seeing like Matt talk, it's just like, well, if they've got to deliver this roadmap, I think people got the misconception that they were like aiming for 200,000. Like, to me, I got their point across as like, well, if they're there, the demand's there, then they'll give out 200,000. But if it's not, then okay, we're still here. We're still going to deliver this roadmap that we've got. And I thought, well, it was 5 minutes to go when I woke up, and I thought, well, this is a sign. This has got. I literally just refreshed it, and I'm not even sure I must have seen it on someone's Twitter because it was all over the place. But I couldn't believe that only 10,000 people at the time were buying it. And I thought, well, for $300, I know it is expensive, and obviously it's a lot of money, but for what potentially we could have invested into VeVe, it just seems like this is like legit utility that's coming along. They've promised it, so it seems like a no-brainer to me. Obviously, in an investment sense. I mean, if it loses the value, then fine. But I mean, it's one of those things you've got to be open to the risk to. But I'm open to it.
Yeah. And I'll be buying more. Like, I think if they go into retail, like I definitely want to get at least 3 to 4 more.
Yeah.
And then rarities after those, like, you know, those things that, and dude, like Action Comics 1059, like it came out with the QR code and the cows in the background, and they were talking about how we get to vote on the journey. So like, could you imagine if like you can vote in, let's just say like somebody legendary in the community, be like, let's put his cowl in the next like Action Comics or Detective Comics, like in the actual store, like you go and you see your buddy's cowl, because you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's so much that like I don't even know. Like and then I think Caitlin Burns, like understanding her background about her being this amazing storyteller and like, you know, did all these things with like Fantastic Beasts and Warner Bros. And what have you. And I was just like amazed by like how she was talking about this as such a complex thing that we're tying in NFTs to the real world, to utility. And I was like, man, like, so I'll be honest, like I still don't know enough about the project. Like I've got to dive deep into it and really kind of learn about it. But I'm just happy that I minted one. Like that's all I could say.
Yeah.
I was really excited to hear that when he talked about on your channel, he's talking about the hand drawn NFTs that could be coming as well.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if it was genuinely, if it was some of his hand drawn NFTs, that would be absolutely insane. I mean, this project, he's a massive collaborator on this project.
Right.
And whether that's airdropped or whitelisted, it doesn't really matter. I mean, those things are going to do incredibly well. And there's a lot of other artists I'm sure they're probably planning on working with too. So, man, it's so cool.
It's so crazy because you think like this is the first, like, I don't know if it's the first, but it's like guaranteed utility, or it's like the first time that everyone, that a platform has spoke about, like, okay, this is the utility we're giving to this platform. And like, you know, like I feel confident because no disrespect to VeVe or anything like that, but they've never come out and said, all right, Walt is getting like a pass to Disney, or R2D2 is getting like a drop. Like you can go into the you can go into the Star Wars land for a discounted price. We've assumed that, or we've speculated. You know, it's all speculation. But now we've heard, we've got a clear roadmap, and it's like, okay, we're doing this for you for $300. And to me, that sounds, it's appealing, you know, as someone that's been invested in like a platform like VeVe, to hear like transparency and say we're trying to do this for people that support us, and it's nice. It's like a breath of fresh air, you know.
Right, man. And some of those rarities too are so cool. Like I don't know how you guys did. Mine would probably just be a floor. To be fair, like I think I had 2 materials that were super rare, but other than that, I was like pretty basic. You guys have anything that was like special, or was it just like floor?
Nah,
nothing. I know, like no ear features or head features, because that's what generates the value, right? In these avatar projects is the different features and the combination of features. And the one that got me the most, I know you guys probably saw this one. It was like not a hologram, but it was like a mixture of different colors, and it had the guard, and it had. Did you see that one,
bro?
It was unreal. That's it. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Are you kidding me? That's got to be the most valuable one on here.
Oh, like I forget the guy's name. I feel bad actually, because it's like I should definitely be calling the guy out. But yeah, that one was insane. I literally just copyrighted his. Yeah.
So I love seeing like some of the edits and stuff of like people that. There was one that was going out, like a guy had like a fucking you sent it to me. He had some sort of like appendage like attached to the top of his head, and it looked so good, and everyone was like, what the fuck.
this was another cool, that was another cool.
Oh yeah,
that
was nasty. And I think that guy's, so he's in Spaces a lot too, right? And then I think Legendary, I forget exactly his full Twitter name, but here, actually I can find it right now.
Oh, this one was cool. So I think Dan Heyman got this one. So it's Batman, but it has all the Batman logos on it.
Dude, that's insane.
That's insane. That's so cool.
Yo, how much would you pay for that? So it's just like, you think they're one of ones, I can't see personally, like if.
So this is Legacy 02. Like,
oh yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, big shout out to
and
him.
that was like
that one, yeah.
one of the rare ones. So
that's really cool.
He's legit.
So what was the reason behind? Because I missed out because I didn't do any research in the project literally until I woke up on that like morning and thought, oh, there's 5 minutes to go. I'll message everyone I know that that's probably into this stuff, and that was it. I bought one. There was no research that went into it, but other than the fact that I saw people talking about it and they said that this isn't the first DC Batman that there was, because they claimed that they were, and they cleared it up on obviously both of your guys' podcasts, which was great, I thought. But so Legacy, what was his story with the Bat Cowls then? Because I missed all that.
Well, all I know is that he was a super early supporter. Like, I know that they gave OG status to some people. There's a lot of guys that I'd probably want to call out. But
the Gale should probably be up there too.
Yeah, the Gale, like there's
big shout out to the Gale.
Exactly. Like I'm not even close to being a Forerunner. Like I saw the project, I just missed it. But now I'm like so into it, right? But yeah, like there's so many guys that deserve some credit, like Shadow and a few other guys too. And they're always in spaces. But I found the guy that got that one that I showed earlier. So it's like nothing left of me at fuck the duopoly. That's literally his. So he got
oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I know, I've seen this guy. I follow this guy.
Yeah. So the funniest part to me was that he didn't go crazy about it. Like he wasn't like,
I saw that.
Like, oh, I got 3 JPEGs, they're fun to collect.
He says, which one do you like the most?
That might be like a 50K JPEG, like who knows?
Yeah. That's what blows my mind. It's like people don't know what they've got, or potentially don't know what they've got. And I love, like, that's like the same thing with VeVe, where you see people like listing like mints or significant mints like lower than the floor, or like at floor level, and you see it every single time. Like if you see someone list, I don't know, like with the recent Star Wars drop, like I think the guy bought the 1977 secret rare for 5,000 gems. And to me, that just blows my mind. Like I would, if I had the gems there, I would have paid 20K. I would have paid 20K for that. Like no doubt in my mind. Like if I'd have seen it, I'd have paid it. But that's incredible to me,
bro. And the fact that it happened to be the secret rare too, like it could have been.
I know. I saw that and I DM'd him immediately, and I was just telling him like, dude, diamond hand that shit. Like, do not. People are gonna come in hot with offers, and they might.
Even David Yu offered it,
dude. Okay, so that alone, I mean, like when you publicly comes out and says, "Are you willing to trade for this?"
Yeah,
you know you hit the jackpot. You know you're the jackpot.
The guy writes the code and he's trying to buy it off you.
What would you do?
You're onto a winner.
Like a number 7 Todd, a pre-released VeVe Marvel Comics 1 SR. Like you could name your bet probably.
So that was running through my mind. I was like, what's this guy got? So what is I was like, if I've run the scenario through my head, right, I've got this secret rare 1977 Star Wars, which they never could have programmed in. Obviously it's random.
Yeah.
What would I charge for that? And I'm thinking I'd want a full Series 1 set matched sub 15. I'd want it all. I'd want everything. And that'd be it. That'd be my price. I would want Rizzo. I'd want fucking Todd. I want all of them matched in mint, sub 15, and that would be my price. And that would be it. Because I know he's got it. And that's all I'm taking. Because you know what you got.
Even for me, man, I honestly I don't even know if I traded for that. And as amazing as a deal that is, that's a great deal. And that has massive upside. But like, dude, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen, because I am a huge believer in publication mint numbers connected to comic books. I think because those are truly one of ones.
Yeah.
You know, like and this one is the first one I've seen tied to a secret rare. I could be wrong.
Right.
But I don't think I've ever seen one tied to a secret rare before. I may have seen 1 or 2 ultra rares, mostly uncommons and commons. And that's still great because they're still one of ones. But adding that variant scarcity, man, I mean, like this could be one of the biggest grails on all of VeVe, like individual NFTs.
Man,
very possible.
How do you
what would be the because I saw the differential between the secret rare and ultra rare, and there's not that many mints, is it?
600, only 600 difference. 1800 to 2400 or something like that. Yeah.
Right. And you got the ultra rare, didn't you, Chad, on the drop?
Yeah, well done, Chad. Dude, that was
Bro,
great.
That feeling, like I literally went in like, you know, like my like dry face. I'm I was like, the fuck I got again.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit. And then I look, I was like, okay, ultra rare, I'll take it. And then I look at the mint and it was 415. And to be honest, I tried to off it like for like 2.7K right away just to like get some gems and complete the set. And anyway, I did sell it, but then now I've just got those gems because I'm like, this is going to be a busy month, man. So yeah, I stocked up on 3 ultra rare comics, but I sold the low mint.
What did you sell it for, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it was only like 1200 or something like that.
1200. Oh, bro, I would have paid 15.
Yeah. Oh, you would have, eh? I should have.
Yeah. I would have paid.
But to be honest, I think there's still some decent deals right now. Like there was a few for like $1,000. That's why. And to be honest, too, what happened was like everybody lowballed it, and then I just did my own thing, and then that, and then it sells, and you go back in, and you're like, oh, like everything.
Yeah.
You know, people in a gem squeeze, right? So
it was, and also it was really tough with this specific drop because there was problems in the secondary market again. Like you couldn't relist things that you bought. Apparently, I don't know the full details, but there's problems with listings. So you combine that with a 4-hour rollout.
Yeah.
You know, it drives up the value. So that's why it's hard for me to like invest in this because I mean I had an uncommon, I sold it for 90 gems, and I like this doesn't seem right. These numbers aren't right. There's a problem here, and I now it's dipped back down to 50, and I think it's probably gonna go lower once the hype goes down a little bit. But there's only like 600 commons on the marketplace.
So there's a 308 for 1K ultra rare. So that's better.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Danny's probably gonna buy it right now.
I'm buying
it. That's awesome.
That's actually a solid deal, to be fair.
308.
Yeah, ultra rare. Because it's only 600. Like that's the other thing I wanted to pick your brain about, Sean, because it's like, bro, it's only 600 mint difference. Like it's not like it was like a huge. Like for instance, with the Marvel Comics #1, you go from 600 to 2400. It's pretty significant. 1800 mint. This is a 600 mint difference. It's got Vader on the cover. I just think people like put it this way. I don't think that it should be as much as a disparity between the UR and the secret rare on this one.
What's the floor's 300, right?
Yeah, 320-ish.
I'm curious how it's.
That's not a bad deal, right? That's not a bad deal, is it?
I would take that. Like honestly, if I was going back in, like I just knew that it would drop a bit, so I was like, oh, let me off this.
So what number was yours?
415.
You sold it for 1.2. It's 1.1.
Oh, okay. It's like 1099 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Let me look at the secret rares quick. The thing is, do I want a secret rare over mate that ultra rare 308? And the secret rare is 1.2 floor.
Yeah.
I'd rather a 308 ultra rare over a floor 1.2K.
You know what I do love about that is that you're looking at a mint number that's in the top 1% of the collection.
Right.
Because the thing that I really love is the higher edition numbers equals more value and then lower mint numbers. In my opinion, I think it's going to become more evident over time.
Yeah.
Because now you're looking at you're in the top 1%, right? So.
Yeah. I just wouldn't even I don't know. There's no. Let me just look through these because I actually want to buy this. I'm going to buy this.
And I'm really curious too because the ultra rare and the secret rare are actually based off of Marvel Comics #1, the special edition comic, which actually I own one. It's not insanely valuable. I think you can get a raw copy for around maybe $100. It's like $50 to $100.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how the market is going to affect that comic book now. Because I think that people are going to be so passionate about these NFTs that it could possibly drive up the physical comic book market because they're so cheap.
Right.
So I think it's it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out.
So but what you've got a Star Wars one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my grandmother actually gave it to me when I was little. But this is what it looks like here.
Is it graded or is it?
No, it's raw. But this is.
That's legit, bro.
So that's
that's a special edition. That's a special edition.
Yeah, so that's the ultra rare cover, and this is the back of it is the secret rare.
So I bought one of them today.
Oh, the physical?
Yeah, the physical. Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Yeah,
I bought it today because it seemed so cheap for what it was, you know.
Right. So that's my point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm curious how it's going to affect the market long term because I think these NFTs are going to actually just really crush it. I mean, having excess accessibility to these worldwide is a big deal.
Right.
And the thing about Star Wars 1, aside from Marvel Comics #1, but specifically Star Wars #1, it embodies the entire brand, right? As a comic book, which is a huge deal. That's really cool. And it's weird because like when I was researching when this comic came out, it said there's different dates of when this comic came out. There's one April. Okay. It was April of 2020, or no, sorry, April 1977. Then on Go Collect, it says June 1977. And then on the CGC slabs, it says July of 1977.
Wow.
So it's like, which date is it, guys? I don't think really anyone knows for sure when this came out, but yeah. There's 3 different dates. Wikipedia says April, Go Collect says June, and then CGC says July.
Wow.
That's so cool, man.
I've literally bought the comp. Like literally,
I would not be surprised if the value of this comic drives up because of the secret rare and ultra rare. And I'm very curious if they went in with that philosophy. It looks like it's clean too.
It's literally it says literally mint, near mint.
Yeah. So you're looking at least a 9.4 or above.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mate, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So I really want to buy I don't know why, but I'm a massive Star Wars fan. So I love the comic book because I bought when you spoke to me about the Strange Academy, obviously I've got every Strange Academy in 9.8. So in obviously in real life, so I've got all the CGC 9.8 of the entire collection of the Strange Academy. I've got the Todd 423, which I love, which is my first ever comic that I've ever bought. I've never read any of these, but I love the artwork. Like I think it's amazing. So I need to buy this Star Wars comic, and I don't need to know whether I need to cash out for the 9.8 at 11. No, 9.8 is like 5K, right? So I need to. The 9.6 is like 1100.
Oh, I think
in British.
Yeah.
So,
for me, I was like, holy jeez, like send me.
No. So yeah, in British pounds, it's like the 9.8 is like 7,500, 8,000.
What's really interesting? Yeah, sorry, Danny, go ahead.
No, you're fine, mate. You're fine.
I was just gonna say, like, even if you go and Go Collect, you try to like get a understanding of the value of this comic for the special edition. They don't even have listings on it because the comic is not really in that high demand. But these the secret rare and ultra rare could change that. It could change that big time in a big way. Yeah.
So have you got the Star Wars 1 original comic?
I don't know.
Do you want it?
Yeah, I do. I just there's other comics that I'm I think that have bigger upside than are more
probably
scarce,
more to you, right?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but I really like it a lot. I think I kind of missed that boat. I mean, like a couple years ago, it was only like a 2K comic or 1,500, 9.8. Now it's like just shot up. But yeah, there'll always be out buying opportunities because it's honestly not that scarce of a comic. I mean, very much similar to like Ultimate Fallout 4. There's like 13,000 editions on the CGC census.
Wow.
So that's a lot. 13,000 is a lot.
So because I love the artwork of the Star Wars #1. I really want it. I want to buy it in obviously a CGC. If I was gonna go for, because I remember sending you some pictures, because as long as it's above 9, I'm okay. Like I'm happy with that. Yeah. Like it's because it's like a low mint number, isn't it? If like it's below 1,000, like I'm okay with that. So if I want the 9.0 or the 9.2 or the 9.4, what price am I paying for that?
It really depends. The prices have changed so much, but I can reference like past sales to give you an understanding of like the market swing right now because it changes so much. And we recently we're doing a series of videos, top 10 videos of each age that we were hoping to see on VeVe. So we're going to do a top 10 video for the modern age, and then the copper age, and then the bronze age and silver age. And we're going to bring on guests. Like the first one we did with Sleeping Comics, big shots at Sleeping. Hey, and it was a lot of fun talking and nerding out comics with him. He's such a great guy. And so I noticed all the prices changed from when I was doing the research. I had to go through and change all the prices again. A lot of them have gone up like significantly. Like, oh shit, okay, well I gotta change that.
Yeah,
Danny, we can talk more about that later. Yeah.
Oh, but I've noticed that because like every time a VeVe comic drops, I want it in real life. Like I don't, and I've definitely noticed that correspondence between real life and digital, because as soon as I see it in digital and I think, okay, this is a cool comic, I love that artwork. Like I need them a lot. Well, I don't need them, but I want them. Like I do want them in real life, and it makes me feel like a proper collector, like to have them like that. So I think that the Star Wars one is like the main, like I've never felt so like strongly about wanting one, and the fact that it's relatively affordable as well, relatively
right now.
considering, it's only like what for a 9.2, it's like $500, $600.
Is this for Star Wars 1?
Star Wars 1. I mean,
Yeah,
what is it in dollars? Yeah, so like I mean, I'm happy with like a 9.4. Like that's great to me. I mean, I can't afford like a 9.8 or anything like that, but I'm happy with, like, I see you've got some Gold Age comics that are like 6.5, 4.5, that you're happy with. To me, just to have that art, I like the artwork as well. So to me, I'd like just to have that, and just as like a centerpiece, is like someone comes up to me and like whenever they come into my house, I can say, oh, this is from this. And I like, obviously this is like the first ever Star Wars comic from 1977. To me, that's cool.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the kind of recommendation I give. I just go for the highest grade within your budget.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. Unless you find an opportunity to buy in at something that you're like, dude, I could flip this tomorrow and make a profit, no problem.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me probably once or twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. And I actually did end up flipping it and made like, really good money just flipping it, just buying it and flipping it, because I knew it was so undervalued. Yeah.
And gents, like with this comic too, another big reason why it wasn't as valuable in the real life is essentially because the movie came out first, right? And then the comic came out after the fact. Would that be like, because generally it would be like the first appearances and stuff like that? Am I wrong?
Not according to Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, it came out in April. So it's like,
okay.
yeah.
But so if that did come out before the movie, shouldn't that be a lot more money? Or at least I would presume it would be.
I don't think it really matters as much to Star Wars collectors, because the comic book Star Wars franchise as comic books are so valuable now. This is still like the foundation of that, right? This is the first one. So I don't really think that detail really matters as much. But I'm curious to actually just generally want to know, like, which one did it come out before or after? Like, because there's so many conflicting dates.
Yeah, like I would have just made an assumption that like Star Wars #1 would have been like $100,000 comic. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe it's because you talked about like the amount of volume there was.
Yeah.
Right. That would like kind of, but it was just like, that's just the kind of idea I had in my head. So it's amazing sometimes that when you have something that's less scarce, but still has insane value, that you can get it at a decent price. Like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And we got another big fucking comic dropping. Man. I know you guys have been having some wet dreams about it, so let's
don't give away too much info, man, because this is like we're having like a chilled chat. We're all trying to make some money here, and it's like
this is Strange Tales 110, the first appearance of Doctor Strange. Actually, it's the first appearance of Doctor Strange, the Ancient One, and also Wong. So you have 3 first appearances in one comic of significant Marvel characters. And yeah, this comic is something I've been really waiting for a long time. I fully expected it to drop during the film's release, because they've aligned that marketing campaign really well. But man, I just didn't expect to get Star Wars 1 and this comic in the same week, man. What a week. It's pretty wild. But I'm very, very excited about it. And I've talked to a lot of my good friends and mentors from like the physical comic space, and they all agree this comic in its highest grade will fetch a lot. And we're talking like 300, 400K minimum. Yeah.
It's wild, to think that people that could just go out there and buy this like 9.8. I remember I was so jealous. I saw like Hulk #1, and this guy bought it. I think it was like an 8.5 for like $200,000. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, that's like a Mercedes-Benz, like SLR AMG. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? In my head, I was like, man, like it's just guys just buying comics like it's candy, So it's pretty amazing, right? To think like some of these sales that are going on. So when are we going to see the ranking there, Sean? Is that going to be a little bit for like, I'm presuming you guys still have to do the analysis, right?
Don't share it. Let's just cut this whole part out.
I I don't like to release rankings before the drop. You know, if people really want to know like the value of this thing, I want them to do their own research and assess. You know, that's why I drop this kind of stuff after. I give our hard sell videos to give our interpretation of the comic, but
Yes.
aside from the actual ranking, I don't want that to affect the market at all. So
well, I tried
afterwards.
I tried, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you got to know.
That's it.
But
You got to do your own research. It's like mate.
It's definitely up there, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
do your own research and you'll probably come to proper conclusions. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie, like VeVe's been dropping, dude. Like,
yeah,
budding, and VeVe just keeps coming back with crazy IP, and you just keep forgetting about all the issues. You're just like,
seriously, yeah.
You know,
having the opportunity to actually land drops has been a big deal with people. You know, it's fun again. It's fun again. Like it feels like it was back in August and September.
Yeah,
you know, that energy is there. The community's having a fun time collecting. You feel it. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. And being able to get potentially 2, even 3 or 2+ comics on drop day for Star Wars 1. Are you kidding me? Like last January, that would have been possible. You've been happy to get 1.
Yeah.
You know, so like being able to actually land drops. Now it's exciting for me. So now I can tell people again, you know, they don't have to buy in high and they can't get drops. Now it's like, okay, yeah, you can buy in this bear market. And on top of that, easily get drops.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Absolutely is. Like to me, it's like, because I stopped telling people about drops, and actually, I don't know if you guys like experience the same thing. I actually stopped doing them because I was like, okay, there's no point me even trying. I was like, and I forgot about a load of drops. But now, like I said, I've got the Star Wars one yesterday, and that was the one I really wanted. Like, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so to me, that was like the big one. Obviously, I didn't get the secret rare or anything. Like, what did I get? I got the rare, which is like 100. It's like 100 gems, and like to turn 15 to 100 gems in like 2 seconds is incredible. It's like when you think about it, it's so easy to like forget what this platform's offered a lot of us, and you get called a moon boy and you get called all this stuff. But to me, it's like I'm so grateful for what we've been able to accomplish and what we've been able to, like, the people that we've met. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's
gonna say, like, it's just funny like you say that, because I echo that, because it's been a while, and that's what makes you engaged, right? When you spend a little bit of money and then all of a sudden you get a pop off, like, you know, I made whatever $1,000 yesterday. It's just like, wow, like, it was just chilling, and that's what you make from just showing up and participating. And then it's like that catapults the next, and then you're like in the market again, and then now you've got more gems, and you're like, oh, like you're on the prowl, and it just makes it all like exciting, right? As before, I wasn't landing for like 3 or 4 months. Like even more than that, and I was just like, man, every now I think that I landed like a particular card, and then I landed like one Elsa and Disney Week, and then maybe a few other things, but they were all like, other than those two, it was all like stuff that, you know, maybe you had like a 2x. And it's funny how I'm like complaining about a 2x, like it only gave me a 2x, but nonetheless, it's just like, you know, now it's like you have these crazy ops, and that's what I think is going to drive the engagement forward. It's like, if more people that can get in on this and make money, then they're gonna, now you get obsessed with it, right? Like, and this kind of reminds me of the old days when we get the low mints and stuff. We'd be like, man, I just made like 10x, like, you know, and then you're just obsessed with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And for you guys, how's like the engagement been recently? Because I know for me, I'm not gonna lie, like it was a little bit difficult with all the FUD in the air. I was still like obviously in the market and doing a few things, but I find now, like, I'm able to flip a little better. I'm able to, because I feel like people are more engaged. Before it felt like more stagnant, but now I feel like the market's a little more dynamic. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I've felt like, even on Twitter and stuff, like you get like people are just not so, even yourself, like, because I when I'm engaged in something, like I'll tweet more about it, but if because I'm interested in it, but if I'm not interested, then it's hard to be engaged. Like, I'm not going to force anything. So, and you notice that like in the engagement on Twitter and the engagement on YouTube and stuff, like you can only, like, you love the project and you believe in the project, but when no one's interested, like, why am I going to talk shit and try and put stuff out there that I'm not going to force it? Like, none of us are going to force stuff that we don't actually believe in. but now it's nice, like it's fun again. Like even with the bots, like it feels fun. Like just being able to get anything, like any drop, it just feels fun. So I'm really, really happy with the progress they're making.
Yeah, it's fun to see that the roller coaster ride of emotions. Back in September and August, it was a lot of fun, and people were making good money flipping, but it was mostly, I think, the overall consensus of the community, I felt at least, was just people having a great time collecting. But then January came and everything spiked, and it's all about showing your vaults. Everyone was really excited showing off their vaults. You saw how much you 10x, 100x, 1000x. And then the crash happened, and everyone was upset, and everyone was complaining and just down. And then on top of that, no one's landing drops. So it's like, what's the point, And then people they figure out a lot of the problems, and now you're starting to feel that cycle again. And people are just excited about the energy is really positive in the community. It's really fun to engage right now. It's really cool.
Man, that's hilarious that you say that the way that you explained it, because I feel like an old man on VeVe, right? I feel like the development stage, we had the midlife crisis, we had the heart attack, we came back, we were rejuvenated, we started the vegan diet. Like it's just so much that's gone on with VeVe that like people like I tweeted today, I'm like, it's been a year, but bro, it feels like it's been 10 years. Like it does not feel like a year, And people are complaining so much, and it's only a year. Like you gave Amazon 25 years to get good.
Yeah, exactly. And even aside from VeVe as a company, what I've never brought this up before, but it kills me when people are just so upset at VeVe and they're like, I'm done, I'm selling everything, I'm out of here. Well, you're selling like the first collectibles of the biggest brands in the world, right? Like the IP is owned by those companies, by the licensors. VeVe doesn't own that. It's their own. Yeah. So when you're selling that, you're not really selling off VeVe, you're selling off Marvel and Disney and all these big brands. So that's why it was so confusing when people didn't understand that. And that just tells me they just haven't done the research properly. That kind of killed me.
That's a great point, man. I didn't even think about it like that. Like the actual individual brand that you're selling, not necessarily and I think that's the thing, people are just associating it all with VeVe, but it's like, no, these are like licensed brands on the blockchain. So you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard, in AMAs, they've talked about how if Disney wanted to leave, they could take their collectibles and bounce. I mean, they're on specific contracts for certain amounts of time. And when that's up, they can leave if they want. But they're choosing to stay with VeVe.
Yeah.
Because they probably know their 5-year plan and they're excited about it.
But even if they don't like choose to stay, like we have these assets.
Yes, 100%.
So we've got these assets, and that's it. To me, that's even more reason to stay and be like bullish, because it's like, okay, well, guys, they've got these first ever on the blockchain, which is what the whole reason we're here. The whole reason we're here is because we believe in crypto, we believe in NFTs, we believe that this is the future, and we've got the first ever ones licensed by the biggest companies in the world. And when you start to think about it, like, you get excited again. It's just like, it's so easy to give into the FUD. It's so easy to give into, oh, this is never going to happen. They're not going to give airdrops. They're not going to do all this because they're the biggest company. Why would they give airdrops? Even I posted a tweet today saying like, oh, they missed the mark by not giving out Star Wars airdrops on like the May the 4th. And the amount of shit I got, I was like, I'm literally here just trying to have fun. And the amount of shit you get from just like, basically, and everyone's like, they're not going to give an airdrop, bro. Like, what are you even saying? And I'm like, okay, well, it's just a bit of fun. But why wouldn't they give an airdrop? Why wouldn't they?
I agree.
Yeah, you know how we all feel about that. I think it's definitely something they'll probably do in the future, but right now they're just trying to game plan the utility behind these collectibles. And that's really what it comes down to. And when they have that figured out, then it's like, okay, then it makes sense to do an airdrop for X, Y, and Z. That's tied to our utility. So right now it's mostly about game planning. In my opinion, and again, I have no inside source on this. This is pure speculation, but I think it's inevitable. They'll do airdrops. I mean, it's inevitable. They're going to want to reward their holders, and that's just part of the process of owning an NFT. So, but it's not going to be overnight. These indie artists, where it's a lot easier to work with them. We're working with one person compared to like probably 100 plus people, with a bunch of different opinions. So it makes sense that you could do that. You can do the raw in English overnight. It's a much easier process, the Matt Gondex. So yeah, it makes sense to me. But I think you'll definitely see it over time. And I'm rooting for your Star Wars airdrop because I am too.
Fingers crossed. I mean, to be fair, they're my two favorite collectibles. Like they're like up there with like my Walt and my Todd. Like those two are my favorites. So it's when you've got that attachment to them, and you think, okay, well, I'm not going to sell these. And when we were, you forget what price they were when we actually bought them as well.
Yeah.
Like people were saying, oh, it's just a massive dip. Like I don't know, a few people, obviously we were there during when you could buy golden moments and stuff. Like a lot of people are up severely and a lot of people are down like massively as well. So you're almost sort of in the middle, like you can sort of appreciate how people feel, like even during the FUD. And if I was down as much as they were, I would be FUDding as well. Like I don't blame anyone for feeling doubtful and stuff. But you've also got to look at what we've got here, the first ever on the blockchain of these massive, like, and when it's hard.
Yeah. And speaking of the R2D2 NFT, that was really awesome the other day on Facebook. All-star baseball player Justin Turner posted on the field a photo with his R2D2. Like, are you kidding me? That's massive. And I'm super curious, like, was it actually him that owns it? Like, let me take a photo with me, or is it him, or is it like his publicist that's like, no, please take a photo with my R2D2? Either way, the photo's out there. And people are excited about it. And I guarantee you, people are probably talking to him about it now, if you didn't know about it. Yeah. Because I was looking on his Facebook, that's where he posted it on his Facebook, and I was looking at the comments, and no one was talking about VeVe. It was interesting. Yeah, I mean, it just shows how early we are, like, really. Like, there's just no comments about it. It's just all fans of Justin Turner. But, I mean, this guy's he's an all-star. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer. He's won World Series. He's massive.
So what would you think about if say it was from marketing, like obviously that's a positive as well, isn't it? Because if it was just marketing, then that means VeVe are doing their marketing.
It's so funny.
Then great. Like there's real people out there that are massive that want to promote the platform that we're trying to promote.
But if you think about it like this too, right? Like there's no other digital AR or collectibles or NFTs in the world other than VeVe right now that could be projected into augmented reality that are legitimately an NFT. So it's almost like that's another reason why VeVe's got an advantage right now, and they need to capitalize more on it, because it's like, if you want to take a picture in augmented reality with an NFT that's Star Wars, you can only do it on VeVe in the world. So like, I feel like that's also, it was like kind of like, what is it, like elimination almost. Like there was not really anything else, because he's probably like, okay, the publisher was probably thinking, okay, guess what, it's Star Wars Day, it's May the 4th be with you, how can we do something that's cool, kind of goes with the NFT scene with Bored Apes, and is also Star Wars, like, okay, this might, you know what I'm trying to say, like I'm just trying to think behind the scenes, and a bit more for necessity, not necessarily because he was like a collector, if that makes sense.
Do you think he was paid for that? Like out of your own opinion, do you think he was paid for that?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. I don't think so at all. Whether or not he knows about VeVe, it's still TBD. But either way, if I saw that and I was working with VeVe, I would contact his publicist and see if he was actually involved in it. Mm-hmm. And at least right now, when we're not going to market it, right? Like we're still waiting for MTL. We're still waiting for Omega NFT, but at least MTL where you can actually cash out. Like that's a big deal. Yeah. So once the desktop version is ready to go and MTL, that's when I probably do start kickstarting a little bit of marketing. And especially if it's with someone like Justin Turner who's excited about it, put that stuff on your social media, dude. Have fun with it, And it was actually really cool, a cool coincidence. Actually, that's Alex's baseball team, the Dodgers. So when he saw, he's a fan of Justin Turner.
Oh, he's loved it. He's loving it.
So he loved it. Yeah. Which is so cool. Yeah.
Man, so, Alex is cool.
Alex is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting to know him a little more.
So what would you do? So say this guy, obviously he's a baseball player. If he is not being paid, like what is obviously he's a collector then. So this is a guy who's a genuine collector that wants to promote VeVe. Like why hasn't he tweeted about it before?
I think it's probably because it may not have been him that owned that NFT. It could have been either his publicist or someone close to him. I was like, take a photo with my R2D2 because it's super cool. And he's like, oh, this is really rad. Yeah, post that stuff.
Yes,
but this is how it all starts. You telling a friend, and they find out about it, and they get excited about it. Like one of my close buddies, he he does not believe in the NFT space whatsoever. He's been making fun of this space for a long time.
We all know that.
Yeah. So I gave him a gift recently. It was a Aston Martin because I knew he was a big James Bond fan, and I know he loves cars. So I gave him that as a gift, and he's sending me photos of it in his driveway. Like he's excited about owning it because now he's starting to get it. Now he sees it in front of him. He understands like the nostalgia is there, and the passion that we have and that we share. It's going to translate really easily when people see it hands on. But it's hard to see it right now because all you have is your phone. But as the space gets more adopted, as technology advances, especially with AR, it's gonna be huge, guys.
Was his enthusiasm there before or after you told him it was worth like $500? Gifted him like $500.
Yeah. It was actually a bit higher at its peak too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's a good friend.
Yeah, it is nuts though, man. Like and that's the thing I keep thinking about is like, it always seems like high addition numbers when it's within our little small VeVe community, but then you start thinking like worldwide again if people start adapting this. And Danny, I'll never forget when you sent me Neymar's back tattoos, bro. And it was like Batman and Spider-Man, like in literally the same positions. And I was like, dude, that guy's definitely gonna want this. Like there's no way if NFTs go mainstream that Neymar is not gonna want the best of the best for that thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the guy's like I don't know how many followers he's got. He must have like tens of millions of followers on like Instagram or Twitter. And the guy's talking about NFTs, and he's literally got a Spider-Man and Batman tattoo all over his back. And if he's interested in NFTs, there's zero chance that this guy's not interested in VeVe. Right. And this is all it takes. And there's people like this, like sports personalities. It takes one or two or three, and then you get the ball rolling. And then this is where the vision that we've all got comes into play. Because it's just so inevitable. Like we've all seen it for over a year, and because they've had delays or they've had whatever, like how much has he got?
123.
What? 180 million.
107. Yeah, I was looking at that too.
He's got a Bored Ape right now up there.
Bored Ape. It's a Bored
But
Ape.
it's like we're the next iteration. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So you've got IP that we've got. Like everyone talks about it. Like obviously Bored Ape are their own IP now, and they've done fucking incredible, and they've rewarded all of their users with an unbelievable opportunity, an unbelievable like lifestyle that people they've set a high standard, like you get that, and that is a problem, but it's also a blessing because we hold everyone that runs an NFT platform. Okay, we'll give you our money, but we expect high expectations, and it's almost it's painful to these people that are trying to deliver a fair and honest project, but we expect it now, and everyone expects it. The expectations are so high because of the standards they've set.
Right.
Did you guys hear about one of the Kardashians wanted to buy this pink Bored Ape?
Remember this?
And you know that I think it was Kylie Jenner. And she offered, I think it was like $500,000 for it. And the guy said, no.
Yeah. Fair play.
Yeah. Like, what a baller move.
Yeah.
If you look at did you remember that? What did I see? I saw a tweet today about the guy who, do you remember that 101 Sotheby's Bored Ape sale? Do you remember that?
There was a stack of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw it sold for, what did it sell for? About 25 million or whatever it sold for.
Wasn't a few of them, or was it just one?
No, it was 101.
Oh, 101. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The 101 Bored Apes, they sold, I think it was about 25 million. And it might have been even less than that, but I don't know the actual figures. But either way, this is way before the announcement of land. This is way before the announcement of the ape token. And they worked it out as the guy bought them 3 months ago for, let's say, 25 million. And he ended up with the land minimum, because a lot of them were rare apes as well. He ended up making about $35 million in about 2 or 3 months because of the land airdrops, because of the Bored Ape, because of the ape token from each one. Mate, imagine the guy that sold that share.
And this is what and this goes back to exactly what we were talking about earlier with the Bat Cowls. Like, this is an awesome avatar project that has backed utility. Batman is literally tattooed on Neymar's back.
And
Like he's a huge
Spider-Man.
fan.
Yeah.
And it was funny, man, because I was telling people, like some good friends that aren't really into NFTs, I was like, you have to buy one of these. You're gonna regret not like $300, it's ridiculous. And I told them, I said, you're saying it's ridiculous now, and a year from now, you're gonna say, holy shit, I could have got that for $300.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Same as Bored Apes, right? Because Bored Apes
Yeah.
were 0.08 ETH back in 2021 in May. So the price was like $190 or something stupid. Mate,
Yeah.
we're looking at like the 100, or let's say $300. If $300 now, if you bought a Bored Ape, you'd be sitting on $500,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Insane.
$300.
You know what's insane too is like everybody that had a Bored Ape kept selling it when it would go to like, I remember when it was like 80K and people were like, holy shit, sell that thing before it fucking tanks.
Oh, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't though?
Who wouldn't?
Uh,
right?
Right. So
And
I had a mutant ape that I bought for 4.5 ETH.
Dude, you never told me this. I didn't know.
No,
that.
I know. So I had a mutant ape because I bought it because makes me sick. So I had a mutant ape that I bought for 4.5 ETH, and I lost money on it because I was like, it's the most money I've ever spent on anything. And I bought a mutant ape and I lost money. I lost about $400 on it because I was like, I can't handle it because I was so new to NFTs that I remember looking at it going like, these are gonna, I couldn't fathom that they were going to be this much. And it's the word, like I say, looking back, I've made some good choices, but you've got to make so many bad choices before you start making good ones. You've got to learn from them, 100%.
Look at that now.
So you actually bought one?
No, I had a mutant it was the first 3 weeks because I follow a guy on Instagram and he had like 5 Bored Apes and he's like, you got to get all these, and I was just like, oh, and I didn't even have the money, to be fair. Like I literally, like I was selling like gems, I was selling everything. I heard about these things called meta, what are they called? It was the Mecca, the Mecca.
Oh, the Mechaverse.
Yeah.
Meccaverse. Yeah.
Those did pretty well too.
Dude, you know what's crazy about? I got a cool story
about
about that. I'll come back to it later, though.
Yeah, so this is why I had I had like 5 ETH in my wallet, and I was like, I'm buying a Mecca, and I couldn't get one. So I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm buying a mutant ape, and I had it for 2 days, and it dropped like 12%, and I was like, oh mate, this is dead. And I was so packed because it was money I couldn't afford to lose.
For sure.
So I was like, oh. And that's the way it goes. When you trade with stuff you can't afford to lose, you become emotional, and you have emotional thoughts play in your head, and it takes over what you're actually, your instincts, because I knew long term these were going to be okay, but because it was money I couldn't afford, I panicked and I sold at the worst time. I sold at a loss on a Bored Ape. It's like, okay, well, you just have to live with that, and but in fact, it's just one of those things, So yeah. You got to look back at it, but I take it as a learning experience. Like all of this is, it's all for
100%. That's how you get better. I was back in 2020, like right before the pandemic hit, and I was in Japan, and I flew to South Korea just for like 2 nights, and I stayed at a hostel, and I met this guy named Matty. I think he's from France, and we went out that night, had a great time, and I said, what are you into? Like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a 3D artist. That's sick, dude. Let me see your art. I saw his art. Like, whoa, you're really good. I mean, I've been around a lot of animation and modeling in my life, man. You're impressive. And we didn't really stay in touch, but like 6 months ago, I see this project and Taps was talking about it, the Mechaverse on his. And I'm like, that artwork looks so familiar. And then I looked up, and Maddie's the co-creator of the Mechaverse project.
No way.
Yeah. So yeah, if you ever sees this, man, it was we had a great night in Seoul.
Wow,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was fun. But the utility, man, that's what's exciting about these projects. Owning like one of these and getting the incentives behind it. Like there's actually for Clone X owners. Do you guys know what Clone X is?
Yeah, RTK, all that
it's
stuff.
Artifacts and So Spencer owns it actually.
No.
So Spencer got involved in it early, and he actually, so the floor price of those right now is around 60K. I think the buy-in was around 2 or 3 ETH, something like that. Yeah. And he was telling me, you got to get involved in it. I'm like, you know how many gems I can get with 2 ETH?
Yeah.
No, but he was right. He was spot on. He got it, and he got a rare one. It's like a reptilian. It's actually his profile photo. So if you go on Spencer's Twitter account, it's his profile photo.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's one of the rare ones, and it's worth 100K plus minimum.
So,
And on top of that, he's been airdropped constantly, collectibles, new things. He was airdropped the first first NFT collectible, which is that's it right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, I'm literally looking at it right now.
it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so he's been getting a lot of cool things from
Go follow
Nike.
Spencer, by the way.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Follow Spencer. He's awesome.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
He's such an inspiration in this space. There's very, very few people that I go to for advice, and he's my go-to. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
But he's actually going to an event in New York for Clone X holders. So I'm gonna tweet about that soon. But yeah, like amazing artists are gonna be there, and I'm sure Murakami's gonna be there, the Japanese artist. Which in our interview, actually, Matt Mason had Murakami flowers in the background and like pillows. He's a huge fan of his art.
No
He had
way.
those pillows on his, Like, I was like, are those Murakami flowers? Like, yeah, big fan.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
awesome.
It's super cool.
That's what we say. That's what we talk about. Like people say about, oh, why are you expecting these massive IPs to give you utility? Well, because we're in this space, because people have done it before. People that like companies that have got way less capital are rewarding their customers for holding. And it's just like everyone like this is what they're trying to do. And I said, there's no way a massive company like this is going to give you utility. Like you start like you're dreaming, bro. It's just like, well,
No,
why?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because they get 6% commission off every sale.
right.
Exactly.
And it's in their best interest to make these as valuable as possible.
Yeah.
How do they do that? With the resources that they have.
Yeah.
Disneyland, merchandise, artist collaborations. They have endless resources to make these as valuable as they want.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do it. Like it's inevitable. And it's not my eyes, it's not if, it's just when.
Right.
Yeah.
They're game planning right now.
And that's the thing we always talked about, right? It's like, companies can provide utility that people can't. And we said this a few times, like, I know, but it's like, that's exactly right, Sean. Like, these are the things that are going to happen. And it's like, again, like even going back to the Cowls right now, and it's like, a new project starting off, PFP, awesome. But they're like literally embedding people into freaking comic books. Like they're taking you on a journey. They're voting on the processes. Like, and that's just like one element, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's the kind of stuff that in the future, it might be so decked out and built out that like, buying something for under, 10 grand would be like almost like just a total steal, to be involved in these amazing things. So it's like, it's going to be interesting to see how our future plays out, but I'm like, I almost bet my life that NFTs are going to be like so mainstream and so well adopted one day.
It's just, there's no question.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
It's so hard to you can convince people as much as you want. You can say your bit, and it's like, okay, well, like I believe this, and that's absolutely fine if you disagree. But you look at Bored Apes like as like I mean, to be honest, if you look at Bored Apes and you look at like Clone X, what they're trying to do, and they're giving out airdrops and stuff, and people are questioning you, it's like, why wouldn't these big companies like? You say if 6% is the revenue that they're getting from each sale, and they're 100K minimum floor because you're giving out so much utility, then do you know what I mean? It's just if they're making 6K on every single sale, and if they're selling like 100 a day, just goes. It's just another source of revenue for how much are they actually making the utility for selling at them at the park. Like if you can get into a park for half price, what you're losing like $500 per one, but you're making 6K sale on each one. It's just I mean, it makes the balance there is just like, okay, well, this is so obvious. They have to give minuscule utility. They don't even have to give a lot. They don't even have to give like massive amounts. They just have to give something to reward people for holding the first ever ones. Otherwise, what is the point? What is the point?
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get like tiered accessories too within VeVe. Like I know we talked about like the mid numbers, like Danny, your sub or your 57 Walt, bro. Like imagine like sub 100 accessories, like sub 100 utility. Like doesn't even have to be accessories, right? Like there's gonna be so much shit that's gonna come, right? Like I meant you can just thousands of ideas right now pop up.
Yeah.
Chad,
look,
you're spot on, and you're seeing that right now with even with the 5% bonus, additional bonus points for MCP program. Like they're thinking about this stuff already. I mean, they've literally created value for low mints.
Yeah.
But we don't see it now because a lot of people aren't seeing it right now because of outside of the obviously the sales, but the utility behind those low mints is going to be massive too. Like to your point, I think that's very possible. Could see a lot of more incentives for owning low mints for sure.
if you look at HRO, like HRO, I think they've done a great job. I think competition is amazing. Like I think it's what's driven. Like I think it's what's driven the team. Like I think it's an amazing thing. Like if you've got to have some sort of pressure or competition, because when we initially started, there was zero competition for VeVe. And to be honest, I don't even think anything, if I'm honest, is in the same league as VeVe. I don't think there's anything even anywhere near. But competition like Hero and the Bat Cowls, they're on different pages. Like they're on different. Like they're not the same because they're offering different products.
Yeah.
I think it's good competition in the same space.
Mm.
That's the main thing. But because I think it's driven them all, I've seen the quality improve. I've seen the urgency in the time that they got to deliver products improve,
Man, that's so true. And I remember Matt even said this, like when he was in the interview, he's like, we're changing also the NFT landscape. He's like, so far it's all been about ROI, flipping, making money. That seems to be like the general consensus around NFTs. Like if you talk to the average person, it's like pump and dump. That's what they think, right? And it's like Matt was like, okay, for the Bat Cowls, like we just want to take you on a journey. Like this is a whole, like the money aspect wasn't really a part of it. He's like, I'm not really sure, like the money part. He's like, we just needed that money to start this thing off. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. It's such the right mindset to have too, because you're going to grow a fan base, and the fan base is going to grow value based on that excitement and that passion for that adventure. And yeah, you're going to see a lot of people jump into this project for sure. Yeah. When you're mentioning earlier about your contacts saying, like, why would they add airdrops or even just utility? Like, just kind of, the whole point of the utility to adding value for that 6%. I mean, it's in their best interest, but also allowing the customers to really enjoy the collectibles in different ways, especially connected to the physical world. But for example, I did some of the math, and say, for example, we talked about this hypothetically, if they allowed anybody who owned a vault owner free access to Disney parks worldwide for life, right? That a season pass to Disneyland is $1,300. But that also includes blackout dates. So out of the 4,333 potential owners, times it would be about $5.6 million would be the cost, the overhead, potentially for season pass holders.
Yeah,
it would only take 900 if the statue hit $100,000 floor and at 6% transaction fee or commission fees, they would get $6,000 per collectible. It would only take 938 transactions to make up for that money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah. It's huge.
Why wouldn't they? Like, it's
wouldn't they?
In their best interest. It's literally in their best interest. And when you think of it like that, it's like, how can people like be so narrow-minded? Like anyone that's messaged me in the last 2 days, you're stupid. Like, I don't understand. I don't. Like, I'm not saying. I just don't get it. I don't get how you can say, "Oh, Disney wouldn't offer this." Why wouldn't they? This is a money-making machine.
It's great marketing too.
It's good. Like, I don't understand it. Like, you're promoting your business because it's going to be shown on every single platform because you're doing something that's never been done. You're promoting your own business because you're getting more people attracted to it. You're making money from something that actually didn't cost you anything realistically in this game. You've promoted, you're distributing a digital product that takes no replicate. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so, to me, it makes so much sense that they would do this and they would gift people that were the first adopters, because it just doesn't make any sense to me that they wouldn't. And if they don't, do you know what? It's worth the risk to me. But to me, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And things are going to help propel stuff forward even more soon, right? Like, I know that Apple's like really looking at like their Apple glasses now that they're coming out with, and like that they're trying to accelerate that. And I've seen some different articles. I know like Disney's about the metaverse, but right now it's all like buzz stuff. Like, it's exciting, but nobody's really coming out with the product yet that's like legitimate. But I know when it comes and we start seeing that, like, dude, that's what people are going to live. Like, there's no way if I have a kid that this kid's going to be sitting in a dark room doing a puzzle or playing with an action figure or reading a comic book. Like even myself, I used to be able to sit down and read a whole comic book, and this is like short. Now I'm like 2 minutes in, I'm like, ah, pretty cool. I literally throw it aside. Like I'm not like, because the world's changing. Like there's so much more going on, right? And I'm like, I want to be connected. I want to be in that social space. And there's just so like even like spaces. Like I'm just always in spaces now, just listening. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this whole like I know this sounds weird because a lot of people would disagree, but as much as we're gonna like prop up the physical, in my opinion, I think the physical is gonna get to a point where it's too expensive for most people, that it's gonna start driving so much more demand into the digital. That like people that, and I feel like that's where you're gonna live a lot more because you're gonna be such a more connected space. Like even now, man, like I just find like when I bought that bat cowl, I'm like, I don't know another purchase in the world right now for $300 that I would feel as like, you know, a rush like that right now for $300.
Yeah.
Like part of something, you feel like you're a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to for the amount of people that actually bought them, like, because there's been, how many people did actually buy them? Because it looks like I've had mixed accounts of like, because I saw it Cowls on the Discord, it said like 6,000, but then on the metadata it says 2,400.
I know.
So what is it?
I would usually go with the metadata. Like that's the way I see it. Like unique wallets. That's the way I presume.
But why lie? Why forge that?
I don't know.
I don't know if anyone's forging. Yeah, I'm curious if that. Yeah, but I mean, even 3,000 or 6,000, it's not a lot of people.
It makes
consider the grand scale.
It's still low. It's still a low amount, and I'm still very happy with. The reason that attracted me the most is because how little people were buying it. So I don't know if it was with anyone else who were like, okay, well, there's like 6 hours left to go. There's like 9,000 that have been bought, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. I'm like, okay, well, this is like what they're playing out. The risk to reward here is so small that I can't not buy one of these. I messaged Lewis Morgan. I was like, mate, this is like, it was like 6:30 in the morning or something for us, and I was like, dude, this ends in 5 minutes. I'd buy one. He sent me a picture of himself in the gym. He's just like, I've just bought one now. He's just like, okay, I'm in.
That's awesome.
To me, if someone like that sees potential in it, like even with him, I mean, to be fair, he does trust what I say, but he saw it and he's just like, okay, he looked at the roadmap. He said, is it any good? And I said, yeah, well, have a look at it. And he's just like, right, I'm in. Like, obviously,
that's awesome.
it's to me, it was a no-brainer, you know, like for what we get for like we've had no roadmap for VeVe for a year. Like for a lot of stuff, we're all on speculation. So to me, it was a good opportunity, and like it looks so, and like you look at everyone on Twitter as well, everyone's so hyped about it, and like I am as well. My profile picture was the Bat Cowl. Now it's my
even Alex bought one.
Yeah, Alex bought one too.
That was so cool. That was super cool.
I like that.
That's so cool. I love
that. It kind of made it like, because we're all like huge VeVe supporters, it just goes to show you, like, you know, they're supporting other projects, right? Like
100%.
The whole
class move. And,
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with supporting more than one project. Like, Chad, have you got that picture? You got are you showing it?
Oh, it was I like it's funny because I was gonna actually surprise everybody tomorrow. I'm just gonna have it like on my wall, but I had it in another place. I'm in transit right now, so that's why it's a little difficult. But yeah, like I'll probably look up for Twitter because I'm probably gonna get somebody to take a picture, and I'm gonna have that with my Action Comics or geez, I keep saying Action Detective Comics 1059 right beside it with the picture, bro. But it's sick. I got it blown up, and because you get such a high resolution file, the guy literally said to me, he's like, you can blow it up to like the size of a table if you wanted to. That's how high def it was. So
how cool is that?
Yeah. So it's like I put it on a 16:20, which is it, and dude, it looks so nasty. Like all in all, it's maybe like $60 to get it. Like I put it on a gloss finish. Like I made it like bro. I was like really serious about it, you know.
Yeah.
And I got like a custom guy down the street. What he actually did. This is the part that was sick. Because you know, if you look at the picture, right, where the top of the helmet is, it cuts off. There's maybe like a tiny bit of space. So what he did is he actually like took the coloring behind it and then superimposed more background on the top and bottom so that I can actually get it perfectly center in the middle of the paint.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it was legit.
So to
That's
everyone
awesome.
who's seen this, you're missing out. Like, I can't wait for you to see this stuff because it is like, it's mega. Like, to anyone that's got a bat cow, you're gonna want one of these things. Like, we've had a sneak preview, but I can't wait for you to see it. It's gonna be so sick.
Yeah.
When you're able to use them in your Snapchat and actually have your own bat cowl, being able to actually maybe have the option of creating your own mask, like a physical mask that you can wear around.
Like
What if
3D
they
printed.
Yeah, I mean, this might be complicated because it's DC, but what if they, I mean, like for Bored Ape and CryptoPunks, they've done this, but what if they give you the licensing rights for that individual image or that, so you can own that and create a brand based around it. That would be incredible too.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
that might be hard because the Batman symbol's on there, but or on most of them, but I mean, that could be that's interesting to look into or think about.
Exactly.
So sick.
Yeah. I mate 100%. Like, and to see the quality that they put into this, like, you think, like, what is the actual roadmap for these backers? So every 52 weeks we get something new, right?
Yeah, new utility. Like the way that I see it, I mean, this is just me speculating, but it seems as though there's going to be like a lot of opportunity for, first of all, like exclusive limited drops. You're going to have like, you know, probably apparel that you can buy. And then I think it's going to be building a full suit. So the way that I see it is like the next thing could be like you're getting an arm or you're like paid, you know, like, and then it's like you get the torso, like that's how, then a belt. And bro, like, and then you can up, like, you know what I'm trying to say? If you want like a higher dib, like you could maybe pay an extra $500. So then you fucking deck out this, like, you're Batman. That, like, I mean, I could be totally wrong here, but that's how I'm seeing
That
it.
makes so much sense,
so
Chad.
cool, though.
Wow.
And then
I
you
love
can
it.
use that shit because you guys know that it was like that whole partnership. Like if you look at the two biggest investors right now into fucking the Bat Cowls, Warner Bros, bro, and Microsoft, Xbox. So people are speculating that this could be like gamification, like using your specific avatar, Batman, in a fucking game. And so you're starting off with the passport, which is the head. And then over time, like, anyways, I'm like maybe I shouldn't be saying half of this because this is
sick.
total
speculation, man.
It's total speculation, but that's how I see it. Like I see these Batmans eventually being used in games, and then you have your own avatar, and like people know you as like, oh, there's NFT Pirates, like he's coming in today, and like, you know what I'm trying to say. And I'm hoping that long term I can modify because like I'm a huge fan of black and purple. But I would want like the coolest stuff. Like I wouldn't want to just be like I want to get this thing like decked in, you know?
I want low mint, I want fucking gold, I want diamond, I want iced out jaw. I need everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, it makes so much sense. I mean, especially like Palm being the co-founders are Dan and David Heyman. Like David Heyman is one of the biggest producers in the world, and he's produced all the Harry Potter films.
That's insane.
He's like top 10 producer of all time. Like the guy is a legend. He's incredible. Yeah. So like he's a co-founder of Palm with his brother. Like they're killing it. They're gonna kill it with this project in this company.
What a cutie.
There's foxes outside, so he's like going berserk.
Hey,
hi buddy.
What a cutie.
He doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on. There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, listen, I've got to take off now too, but bro, that was a great chat. See, this is what we got to do more often. Just get to, and the coolest part of this is that like this is a chat, everybody, that we would just have totally ourselves, like forgetting that the camera's even on. So you're just seeing the real us, you know, speculation, just chatting, just having fun. And I feel like this is the kind of conversation that people are really, you know, die to hear because this is what we see on Twitter Spaces. You know, these are the conversations people have over the phone. And I think it's just so important to continue doing this. So, and you guys are two of my favorite people in the world, man. And yeah, we're gonna get together. Put it this way, we're all from different continents, but we're making an effort to actually get together in person. So that's gonna be sweet.
Absolutely, I'll say I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, man. It's I don't know. I'll say we'll wait until it happens to announce what we're doing.
That's a good plan.
Looking forward to catching up with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on today, guys.
Always, buddy. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.